Every few years, something shifts in the market that looks like a tool upgrade on the surface, but is actually a complete operating model replacement underneath. Most people miss it because they focus on the tool. The ones who see it and see it early, the ones who understand what is actually changing, they build the infrastructure while everyone else is still debating which app to download. That moment is right now. And what is changing is not the model, it's the entire architecture of how a business thinks, learns, operates, and compounds. Look, growing up in the Bronx, you learn fast that the people who build systems own things. My parents were not system builders, they were system workers, brilliant, hardworking people operating inside architectures that someone else designed and someone else profited from. I took that lesson into a career as a clinical and business intelligence analyst inside major clinical and hospital systems, where I spent years sitting at the intersection of clinical operations, financial performance, and information technology, watching what happened when systems were disconnected versus what happened when they were integrated. The difference was not marginal, it was categorical. Disconnected systems produce fragmented outcomes, wasted resources, and organizations that could never fully understand themselves. Integrated systems produce coordinated intelligence, organizations that could learn, adapt, and compound their operational advantage over time. That architecture distinction is the same one that is playing out inside every business that touches AI. And the gap between the businesses that understand this and the ones that do not is about to become a defining competitive divide of the next couple of years. Picture this. You wake up and your business already knows what happened yesterday. Every lead that came in, every client interaction, every piece of data generated across your entire operation, processed, stored, and ready. Your AI infrastructure does not need you to explain context. It has it. It does not need you to rebrief it every session. It remembers. It learned overnight the same way a great team member processes the day and comes back sharper the next morning. And while you're making the high judgment decisions that only you can make, your agent infrastructure is executing the repeatable ones: routing, follow up, updating, analyzing, flagging, all of it running on connected systems that talk to each other and compound their intelligence every single day it operates. This is not a fantasy. This is what managed agent infrastructure with a properly built cognitive architecture actually delivers. And it is available right now to any business owner willing to build it correctly. Here's the one thing I need you to lock in right now before anything else makes sense. The AI conversation has already moved on. It moved from models to infrastructure, from infrastructure to systems, from systems to monetizations. The businesses that win next are not the ones using the best model. They are the ones architecting connected agent systems that humans can trust and AI can execute inside. A managed agent with a well built cognitive architecture, like databases, documents, SOPs, custom tools, and a memory update cycle that runs at the end of every session. They do not feel like a chatbot. It feels like a teammate who never forgets, never loses context, and gets more capable every single day it operates inside your business. This is a completely different asset than a tool you open and close. So I'm going to share with you secret number one. Stop thinking that having AI tools is the same as having AI infrastructure. Tools are things that you use. Infrastructure is something that runs underneath everything and makes your entire operation more intelligent over time. Right now, almost every business owner is using AI is using tools. Opening a chat window, asking a question, closing the window, and losing everything that happened in that session. A managed agent system with a cognitive architecture does the opposite. Look, it processes the session, updates its own memory, stores what is learned, and comes back the next day already ahead of where it was. That compounding learning effect is not a feature, it's the entire business advantage. And the businesses installing it now are building an operational intelligence gap that gets harder to close every single week it runs. Secret number two. Stop thinking that more agents mean more power. This is the trap that turns agent infrastructure from a force multiplier into a noise machine. If you build 20 agents and even 10% of them are generating output that requires your attention, you have become the bottleneck in your own AI system. The goal is not volume of agents. The goal is fewer, deeply configured agents that generally reduce your cognitive load instead of adding to it. Every agent you build must have a clear rule about when to surface output to you versus when to handle things autonomously. What thresholds trigger an escalation versus a silent log entry, and what format information takes when it does reaches you. Fewer agents dialed in correctly compound your intelligence. Many agents configured poorly compound your overwhelm. That leads me to secret number 3. Stop waiting to understand all of it before you build any of it. The AI space is producing so much noise right now. New models, new frameworks, new hype cycles every week. That the greatest risk is not moving too fast. It is getting so distracted by consumption that you never execute on the specific capability that is actually worth going deep on right now. Manage agent infrastructure with a real cognitive architecture is one of those specific bets. The infrastructure is new, the business applications are barely explored. Almost no one is packaging this as a client ready product yet. The vertical specialization opportunity alone, picking one type of business, preparing a pre configured agent system tuned specifically for that vertical, data, workflows, and tools, is a defensible recurring revenue business that is sitting mostly untouched right now. Trust me, I see it. Knee deep in the med spa business. And it applies to any business, right? This architecture, this infrastructure and memory architecture. And let me let you know right here and right now that inside AI Money Mats, we build the agent infrastructure that turns your business into a compounding intelligence operation instead of a manually operated machine. We start by mapping your current architecture, every place where your systems are disconnected, every session where context is lost, every workflow that currently depends on a human remembering to execute. Then we build the cognitive architecture around your operations, connect the databases that give your agents a system of record, context documents that get updated at the end of every session so your agents always resume with full awareness, custom tools built specifically for the actions your business needs to take, and the memory update cycle, the sleep process that makes the whole system feel like a continuously learning teammate instead of a chatbot you have to re-explain yourself to every time you open it. This is not a tool recommendation. This is an infrastructure build. And once a business owner has operated with a system that remembers everything, learns over time, and handles a growing portion of the daily operation, the switching cost compounds every single day. You do not go back to manual ever. You go deeper into infrastructure. Here's the truth I need to say directly to you. The businesses that install agentic infrastructure early will learn faster, compound faster, and monetize faster. Not incrementally faster, categorically faster. Because operational intelligence compounds the same way financial interest compounds, quietly, invisibly, and then suddenly in a way that looks impossible to close from the outside. The businesses that wait will not just be behind on tools, they will be behind on operating intelligence. And operating intelligence, once it compounds for 12 to 18 months inside a competitor's business, is not a gap you close by buying the same tools they started with. You are closing it from behind a curve that is still accelerating. In 2026, the market realizes agents are not toys. They are workflow participants. In 2027, the gap between businesses with connected agent infrastructure and businesses still duct taping tools together manually becomes structural. That timeline is not speculative, it's already visible in the businesses that moved early. So, 2 choices. You keep consuming AI news, keep experimenting with individual tools, keep operating A business that opens and closes chat windows and loses everything in between sessions, and keep watching the intelligence gap widen between you and the operators who build the infrastructure while you were still deciding. Or you go deep on one specific capability, build the cognitive architecture correctly, install the agent infrastructure that makes your business compound instead of just operate, and become the business in your market that is generally untouchable in 18 months because you build the operating layer that everyone else is still trying to figure out. One of those paths leads to a business that owns its market. The other one leads to a business that explains to itself why it is still organically doing things that a well-built agent could have been handling a year ago. DM me the word money maps right now. Let's map your current architecture, identify exactly where your business is losing intelligence between sessions, and build a connected agent architecture that makes your operation learn, execute, and compound every single day it runs. The agent era is not arriving, it is already here. Step in. This is the agentic revolution.